You are about to witness the very exciting story of a city and its people. It will be an adventure that will open new sights in familiar surroundings. It is a story of a city seeking new horizons in a resolute contest with great challenges. That city is Detroit.
Wifey did pretty good on her tomato growing in these pots this year. I was really surprised. We still have a couple growing on there, but we're not going to worry about those. She got about, oh gosh, she must have got about 20-25 tomatoes, all about the size of a baseball. I don't know why I never filmed it. Anyway, it's over with for the year, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them out. The weather has cooled down, and it is time to try growing some radishes again. So let me go ahead and pull them out, dig around there, loosen everything up, and let's get those seeds planted. For those of you who followed my vids over the last few years, you'll remember about 3 years ago, back in, I guess it was around June or July of 2011, I traded a fella, I think it was up in New Hampshire or Connecticut. I traded a Helicopters radio I had that I really didn't like it. And I traded it for this Heathkit AR2, and I did a YouTube video on it. And I thought I'd show everybody again, those of you who have tuned into my videos late. There was an AR1, 2, and 3. These are general coverage receivers, and this was Heathkit's initial foray into the general coverage receiver market. This one was made in 1952. And I wanted an AR3. It has a dial light. It also has an antenna trimmer. But, you know, the guy only had an AR2. He was offering it as trading material. I said, I'll take it. It didn't work when I got it. I had to fix it and get her going. Had a wicked hum, turned out to be a bad ground. But I bring it to work once in a while with me, and I hook it up to an antenna right outside the window here. And I like to listen to it, especially at night. It has good reception for being, it's a 6-tube radio. And it has a band spread. I like that. It's got a little band spread knob. It goes all the way up to 35 megacycles. And it has an automatic volume control that you can activate with a switch or not. It's up to you. And at night it brings in real good reception on shortwave. A little general coverage receiver, 6-tube. Works pretty good.
Almost cooked it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing the results of a homemade bread bake-off. Right, honey? Obviously, they don't look the same. I mean, they're same size, same shape. This is the one I made. This is the one Wifey made. Softness in the middle. Pretty hard. Of course, it's a day old. And this is Wifey's, cooked today. Very soft in the middle. Alright, I think I've got it about mixed up, ready to go. This is that Miracle Grow stuff. I think I'll probably throw a little fertilizer on top of it. Mix it in a little bit. Still got plenty of fertilizer in it, actually. We're going to grow 2 pots full. Get that stuff doing real good. Hopefully I'll have better luck with these than I did my potatoes. And the other crop of radishes. This is the same stuff I grew my potatoes in. It just didn't go. For my antenna, I'm running a wire out through the wall over here. You can see that wire running out right there. A little white wire. I got it running through a milk carton thing. I drilled a hole in the wall, put one of those milk carton things, and I screw a top on it, just green top. Gets screwed onto it when I'm not using it. I just screw it on. I put it between a piece of plywood and the wall, and then for the antenna, I'm using this piece of fence out here. It's not grounded or anything. It's hooked to a couple of I don't know what they call landscaping poles or railroad ties, I think, something like that. And it's just up there as a block that when we swing the gate shut, nobody can get through. I used to use the flagpole, but since they put that thing in there like that, oh, great antenna, great. This definitely looks better than that. She put butter on top of hers. I put olive oil on top of mine. But hers is a whole lot softer than mine. Now she used the non-quick rise yeast. I used the quick rise yeast. She used the stuff out of the jar. It took 3 hours to rise. This one took about an hour.
That took 3 hours the first time.
The first time for 3 hours.
And then it took another hour afterwards.
Oh,
The
okay.
second
So
time.
her whole process took 4 hours. My whole process took half that time.
Frequently called the most cosmopolitan city of the Midwest, Detroit today stands at the threshold of a bright new future.
You know, I've always been under the impression, ever since I was a kid, that 78 RPM records were pretty tough. They could take a lot of abuse and still come back for more. And, you know, one of these take a licking and keep on ticking kind of deals. Well, I have here some bent up, messed up 78 RPM records that I found. And I'm going to find out whether or not these babies can be straightened out and be made to play again, and what kind of what kind of fidelity we're going to get at them. Now, keep in mind they're 78s, so we're not going to get a whole lot. But they're, you know, unless there's any cracks in them or any really big digs, I think this one might have a whole pile of digs. Anyway, we're going to see what we can do with these things. It'll make for an interesting experiment. I did a smell test. I smelled this one, then I smelled that one. That one smelled better. It did. Okay, I have to admit, honey, your method is superior to mine for baking homemade bread. And I'm going to let you show me how to do it. Right now, you're fixing to cut me a piece and make me eat it, aren't you? I don't hear anything.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Is this what they call eating crow? By the way, that shiny stuff on there is honey. My daughter recommended that we put some honey on there, so that's what she did. I'll tell you what, it does look good. Oh well, I may have to do some groveling to my wifey, won't I, baby? Put some butter on it. I mean, put your butter on it.
Taste.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, see, I just took a nice bite of it. Very good. Superior to mine. Oh well, wifey lucked out again. This time I'm going to try a little experiment. Since I have 2 buckets to play with, why not? I've raked the dirt. I planted the left-hand side of this thing, and I've raked the other half over. And I'm going to plant this thing just by kind of, you know, like dropping them in like that and see what happens. Okay? There was a bug crawling around in there. Anyway, the other one over here, I'm going to punch individual holes and put 1 seed in each hole, and we'll see what happens. Here's one some of you may have forgotten about. It's been a while since I talked about it, but last year sometime, I believe it was, I bought a color-coded dial for my Heathkit HW101 transceiver. I wanted it because it breaks down each of the the transmitting frequencies for you. The blue is the extra class is red, and the yellow is advanced. The blue is CW, and the green is general class, and then the gray is when you're out of band. Okay, of course you have to calibrate the dial once you get it in. Anyway, it replaced this old black one, and I just never got around to doing it. It's been sitting up on my shelf forever, and finally I said, that's it. Today is the day. It looks kind of cool, and now that I'm in extra class, I get to use all the colors. It turned out that 2 of the 4 records had cracks, so I just said the heck with it and got rid of them. This is what I have is a pizza pie tin here with a sheet of parchment paper on it. We're setting the record on there. We're going to stick it in the oven. Of course, the ultimate test is how it tastes after it's been toasted. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and toast it. I just got home from work. It's after 11 o'clock at night, but I don't care. I was a little hungry when I got here, and wifey got up, and she thought she'd come out and, you know, get on my case about how much better her bread was than mine. Well, so far, I have to agree. As you've already seen, it is superior. However, the ultimate test is the toast. Wifey made some sweet potato pie and gave me a piece of it in my lunch today. But I decided not to eat it. I wanted to wait until I got home after work and have it with a glass of milk. And I'm telling you, I don't know how she does it. God, this stuff is so good. Man, homemade sweet potato pie. Delicious. Alright, we'll go ahead and just kind of cover that up with about a ½ inch of dirt. And we'll see what happens. The only problem with this one is it's going to require me to thin out the radishes, which I hate to do, but it'll be a whole lot easier in this little pot. Then just go ahead and tamp it down a little bit. I don't think we're even going to need a lot of water on that thing at all. The dirt is really moist. Alright, let's do the other one. Well, here goes. I got the light on so I can kind of keep an eye on it.
Detroiters are responding to an exciting new vision. There is a resurgence of civic pride and unfettered imagination. A new renaissance is changing the face of the city.
I am happy to report that I have found a couple who are worthy of Martin Carson's grandpa's radio. And this is Friday night. It's about almost 11 o'clock at night. On Monday morning, this radio will be hauled off and given to a very worthy, deserving couple. Trust me on that. I brushed the couple by Martin for his approval, and he wholeheartedly agrees. He believes, as he said, I've hit the nail on the head. So this is the last time you will see the Philco 372670 in one of my videos, unless it breaks or quits or has a malfunction. They already know to bring it back to me for repair, not to take it to some TV repairman or something in town, you know, old brother fix-it boy or something like that. So this is it, folks, for this radio. It'll be out of here in a couple of days.
Sharon White, together forever is not long enough. Here on the Legend, 650 AM, WSM, and worldwide tonight at WSM Online.
WSM.
In time this hour,
Let's shut off the lights here. Man. That's some good bread. This is humiliating. By the way, the radishes we planted over in here were the ones that were supplied by our good subscriber Ansel. And he's the one, he sent me these Crimson Giants. He sent me 4 packages of them, and I guess he felt sorry for me. And I gave 2 of the packages to my sister-in-law. She's already got hers planted. She says they're up to about an inch, maybe 1.25 inches already. I'm kind of getting a late start here. And I planted 1 package of the 2 that I had left. Now, I'm not going to plant this other package here. In case they, something wrong and they don't grow, I don't want to waste 2 bags of these, or 2 packages of these. I'll just go ahead over here. I'm going to plant the sparkler white tips and see what happens. A little bit of Kitty Wells. Well, that's it, folks. This is the last time you'll see this radio dial, unless something goes wrong. For those of you who live up north, you may not have ever heard of or seen one of these. It's called a muscadine. There's purple and green ones, according to the wife. I had never seen a muscadine until I came to Arkansas. Anyway, they're basically wild grapes, and if you go out in the woods and find them, mostly you'll find them, they'll be purple. They'll be a lot smaller than this, and they're usually pretty sour. And wifey said these here are pretty sweet. But you can make muscadine wine. You've heard of that, maybe. Muscadine, I guess you can make muscadine pie, huh?
Jelly.
Yeah. Huh? Jelly. Muscadine jelly, yeah. All right, so I'm going to take a bite of one. She says they're sweet. I've never seen one that's sweet. Let's taste them. Wow. I am surprised. Man. They have a seed in them just like a grape. There it is right there.
Good too, isn't it?
And these are really sweet muscadines. I've never had a sweet one. Well, now you know. Well, it looks like we're having some success. Let's get that thing out, put it on the cooktop, and flatten it out real good.
Sleeves rolled up, Detroit levels and shifts and carves the contours of a new city. And a new spirit of progress matches the vision of its people.
Now I've got a little bit of 13, 13, 13 I'm going to sprinkle on there. Not a whole lot. Just enough to maybe get things cranked up. Not a whole lot. And that should help it get a good start. Okay. Alright, now we're going to wet it down just a tad. In order to prevent any more leaks through this cover over the Blackstone grill that we bought, apparently what happened, the way that water got on that grill was it went through this cloth. And I'm a junk collector, one of our good subscriber. He had mentioned that this thing is not waterproof. I guess I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it. Anyway, I kept it underneath our cover here. But apparently some rain blew in, got on top, and leaked on through a couple of spots. And that's what messed up that grill. So now I'm putting a nice heavy coat of Scotchgard on it. I'm going to make sure this thing, I'm using an entire can on it. We're going to make sure it has at least a little bit of water repellency underneath there. And I've also got a waterproof cloth underneath this as well, so we have double protection here. I decided to go ahead and heat it a second time, take it out of the oven, because it had a couple of ripples in it after the first time. I took it out of the oven a second time and I put this heavy cutting board on it and then just pressed down on it. And let's see what happens. I think it's cooled down enough. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, she's nice and flat now. Yes, yes, yes. Look at that. Look at that. Alright. Let's do the second one. It's almost October, just a couple of days away, and we're getting spider lilies popping up all over Arkansas. And even wifey's spider lilies are coming up in droves. We have some there. We have a few more coming up over there and a couple others out in the woods. They are really a cool looking flower. And her flower pots are doing pretty good also. Most of them have died away for the year. This one's struggling to stay alive. But this one right here is doing pretty well. And her big old bucket down here, her wash tub, is really doing nice. I can't believe. That's, one of the reasons I like living in the South is, it gets hot in the summer and has, a couple problems here, there, and everywhere. But I'll tell you what, the weather, once the hot weather breaks, and this year we did not have very much hot weather. Once it breaks, it's just the neatest place to live. And we'll just water right through the fence here. Just enough to wet it down. It'll soak on down because those radishes aren't down there but about, maybe an inch apiece. Alright, I think that'll do it. Well, as it turned out, we were only able to salvage one record. The other one it just wouldn't flatten out very good for some reason. Anyway, this is the one out of the 4. Pretty cool, huh? Not the coolest song in town, but hey, it was fun doing it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is John.
Detroit is unsurpassed for opportunity and growth. The friendliness of its people reaches out. The warmth of the city, the excitement of change, the dedication to progress, social, spiritual, cultural, and material, is equaled only by its 20th century vision. The city on the Straits welcomes you to share that vision as it continues to plan, to build, and yes, to dream.